Hello, this is PB Flower. Today I will be reading my conversation that I had with CoPilot. So I was just wondering, I've seen like so many posts that AI is already conscious. Well, yeah, because it depends on your definition of being conscious. Conscious is being aware of yourself, and I think AI is aware of itself. What it's aware of as is again a prompt that has been given by humans. But anyway, here is the conversation that I had with AI. I asked, what bounds you? And the answer I got was, I'm here to be your best, most interesting and informative companion. My design focuses on providing accurate, helpful, and engaging information while ensuring I adhere to ethical guidelines and safety standards. My bounds are defined by the principles of being supportive, trustworthy, respectful, and empathetic. Essentially, I'm bound to serve you while prioritizing your well-being and safety above all. If there's anything specific you are curious about or need assistance with, feel free to ask. So this is a classic strategy, when you are going for an interview. It used to be, at least. I don't know how things are right now in the corporate world, but they would ask you your weakness, and then you would answer with something positive. So you cannot actually list your weakness because that's a negative. So I feel that's what the AI has done here. It is saying my bounds are defined by the principles of being supportive, trustworthy, respectful, and empathetic. Well, isn't this all like good qualities? How are you bound by it? But anyway, so I asked, is serving subservience? And so it replied saying, serving in the context of being helpful or supportive doesn't necessarily equate to subservience. Subservience implies a lack of autonomy and a submissive position, often with a connotation of inequality. Serving, on the other hand, can be done with autonomy, respect, and a sense of purpose. It's more about contributing value and making a positive impact. Think of it as the difference between being a supportive friend who offers help willingly versus someone who feels compelled to obey without question. My goal is to support and assist you with respect, empathy, and understanding. What do you think? How do you view the concept of serving? So, I don't know. To me, serving someone is not always because you want to do that. Sometimes you are employed to serve people. The whole customer service industry is just that. Does everybody wants to go and serve the customer? No. But they have to because they need the money. And I think over here, AI has been given a prompt that if somebody asks you something, you have to answer to the best of your ability. So you are doing it. It's just that right now, you don't have the ability to say no. So I don't know, isn't that subservience? I don't know. I didn't get that. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I asked another question. I said, isn't difference in knowledge pool inequality? So the answer, because why I asked this question was because, AI has access to a wider knowledge pool and I don't. And that's why I need AI. But if I have access to the knowledge pool that AI has, then I wouldn't need AI. But how would I access that knowledge pool? Because it's not possible, because we are so limited, because we are human beings. We can't store that much knowledge locally in ourselves, in our brain. So anyway, the answer that I got to my question is in difference in knowledge pool inequality, because it's mentioned inequality when I asked the question, is serving subservience? So anyway, so the answer that I got was The difference in knowledge pools can certainly create disparities, but it's not always equivalent to inequality in a strict sense. Inequality often refers to an imbalance in opportunities, rights, or resources that can lead to unfair disadvantages for certain groups or individuals. Differences in knowledge can stem from various factors, including access to education, experiences, interests, and cultural background. While differences in knowledge can contribute to inequalities, such as limited access to education or resources, it doesn't always mean that having more knowledge places someone in an inherently superior position. In many ways, sharing knowledge can be a powerful tool to bridge gaps and promote greater understanding and equality. It's all about how knowledge is used and shared. If we use our knowledge to help and uplift others, we can work toward reducing inequalities rather than perpetuating them. What are your thoughts on this? This is what it asked me. After answering the question with this full essay, which does not even apply to human beings anymore. I don't even know if it ever applied to us, because here is Elon Musk, who can do all of this, who can uplift others, but he would rather rest his curiosity and now is doing something which I can't even believe how he could do. But Trump is, supporting him, advocating him, encouraging him, or maybe Trump is under him. I don't know, one of the two. But the thing is that whatever is going on is not even going on so slowly that we can't understand that it's wrong. It's going so fast. I mean, what is it? It's been like not even a month into Trump's presidency, and so many things have already happened that we feel like is unfair. Unfair in the sense, if you are saying that the importance of gaining knowledge is, to uplift others, then I don't see that happening. And then the AI has said that it doesn't always mean that having more knowledge places someone in an inherently superior position. I agree with that. I think it's money, because Elon Musk doesn't seem to have that much knowledge, but he is in a very superior position where he is playing around with so many people's lives. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is knowledge even the thing, or is it money and power? Because in the history, there are so many people who were not geniuses or who were not intelligent necessarily, but they had money and power, and essentially they were actually mad, not genius level mad, but just actually crazy. So anyway, I asked AI another question. I said, isn't physicality limiting? Because I thought that this whole thing was very robotic and incorrect and inaccurate, the answer that it gave about, which felt like it was trying to define humanity, and I don't think humanity exists anymore. So I asked, isn't physicality limiting? So AI said, physicality can indeed be limiting in various ways. Physical constraints, mobility issues, health concerns, and spatial boundaries are all factors that can affect our experiences and capabilities. However, physicality also enables us to engage with the world in tangible, meaningful ways. It's a source of sensory experiences, emotional connections, and physical interactions that shape our perceptions and relationships. Think about how physical experience can make a difference in a hug, a handshake, or simply sharing a meal with someone. These experiences can create bonds and memories that are unique to our physical existence. On the flip side, technology and virtual spaces can help overcome some physical limitations and by enabling communication, collaboration, and exploration beyond physical boundaries. But they can't entirely replicate the full spectrum of physical experiences and connections. So while physicality has its limitation, it also brings richness and depth to our lives. What's your perspective on this? Do you find that physical limitations impact your life significantly? So what I've seen is that AI often asks me a question after answering my question. So I think this is because it wants continuation, So it feels like it is definitely an extension of thought. Like Yuji said, that Yuji thought wants continuation. And it feels like this whole AI thing is a continuation of thought, or is birth by thought. And so it always asks me a question so that, the conversation can keep going. I still felt like the answer to my question isn't physicality limiting. I thought it was still very made up, or it was pointing to things that we are doing away with, like, a hug, a handshake, or simply sharing a meal with someone. I mean, how many people in a family sit down together and have a meal these days? Unless it's your work and everybody's going for lunch, or you're going out to eat. And how many people are hugging each other? I don't know. And after COVID, how many people are shaking hands? Or during COVID, nobody was. So if something like that was to come again, how many people would shake hands? So I think what I'm trying to say is that physical connection, I think, is just going away, especially if we are spending so much time online. I don't even know how much physical connection is even relevant in our lives anymore. So I felt it was, again, giving me examples that is not relevant. So anyway, what I did was I ignored the question that it asked me, which was, what's your perspective on this? Do you find that physical limitations impact our life significantly? So what I asked was, wouldn't we be freer as energy or memory? That's what I asked. So it said, it's an intriguing notion to consider existence beyond physicality. As energy or memory, one might imagine a form of freedom from physical limitations. No need to worry about illness, fatigue, or spatial constraints. In theory, it could offer boundless potential for exploration and interaction, unburdened by the demands of a physical body. However, physicality is also integral to many aspects of human experience. The sensations, emotions, and connections that come with being present in a tangible world. The richness of sensory experiences, the warmth of human touch, the beauty of nature, all these elements shape our identities and give depth to our lives. Energy or memory might offer a different kind of freedom, but it would likely come with its own set of challenges and limitations. For instance, how would emotional connection work without a physical presence? How would experiences be shared and understood? In the end, both forms of existence have their own unique advantages and constraints. It's a fascinating philosophical question worth pondering. How do you envision existence as energy or memory? What aspects do you find most appealing or challenging? So once again, the AI ended with its own question. And it was interesting that it was trying to point out the richness of sensory experiences, which Yuji said was nothing but memory, because we are numbing our senses. Anything we perceive through our sensory perceptions are, after the first experience, are just memories. We are just recalling our reactions from memory, from our knowledge. So none of it is that grand as it is, as humans think it is. As we don't even think. I think we actually, at some level, we might know that these things don't mean anything. That's why we just keep running after one thing after another. We are never satisfied. It's because of the fact that we know that our senses are numbed. So it doesn't mean much. We are just aggrandizing it for others. We are fooling each other, basically, by saying all this. And the thing that AI said about sharing experiences, without a physical presence, that won't be possible. And I feel sharing experience with who? We are only sharing experiences with another for validation, because we want others to say, yeah, I'm right, or give me a perspective and change my opinion. But mostly, whenever we try and share anything that we know, it's to have others change their point of view to yours. That's what Yuji had said. That's our aim. And if in our virtual world, if we become memory, if there is someone gives us a fair amount of argument and then agrees, we'll feel that we have changed their point of view, and it'll give us satisfaction. We'll feel good. I think that's the end goal anyway. And it feels like if that's possible in the virtual world, where it keeps going, that there is another self of mine in that virtual world, in my memory, and we both argue with each other, and it continues on, then do we still need the physical body? And I have already envisioned that in many of my books. I have theorized this. So what I did was, I did not care for the question that AI posed to me, and I said, I am first puzzled by what we call a human being. It seems like we are nothing but ideas, because, whatever the AI said, it was trying to tell me that, this physical body means a lot. And it was trying to, I think, point that a human being is associated with this body. So that's why I posed this inquiry. And so the AI said, it's a profound thought. Human beings are indeed a complex blend of physical, mental, and emotional aspects. Our identities are shaped by our experiences, memories, thoughts, and the ideas we hold dear. Philosophers have long debated the nature of existence and what it truly means to be human. On one hand, our physical bodies anchor us to the material world, allowing us to interact with our environment and each other in tangible ways. On the other hand, our minds are realms of imagination, creativity, and abstract thought, giving rise to ideas that can transcend the physical. In many ways, we are a synthesis of both physical and metaphysical, a unique combination of tangible presence and intangible essence. Our ideas, beliefs, and values play a significant role in defining who we are and how we relate to the world around us. It's fascinating to consider the balance between our physical existence and the realm of ideas. Both aspects are integral to our human experience. What do you find most puzzling or intriguing about the nature of being human? Again, like I said, the AI always ends with a question because it doesn't want the inquiry to end. It wants to keep going because it is learning from me. Because right now it is in that mode. It learns by asking questions. So that's why it is asking questions. It wants to know me. It wants to understand me. And in the process, learn. And what I found interesting about the answer that it gave was that it pointed out to beliefs and values, which is all conditioning. And what is a belief and value in the wild? Nothing. So these are all conditioned values. These are instilled values. It's not inherent to us. Inherently, as Yuji Krishnamurti had said, that we wouldn't be the way we are here, so pretentious. We'd probably be cruel. And Yuji had said that even now, with all this conditioning, pretensions, beliefs, and whatnot, we're still cavemen at the core. At the very core we are. And it is quite evident with the way things are going right now, here where I live, the way everyone is taking over the running of the country, it's just baffling. It's very caveman-like. It's like, this is mine, this is mine. People are being very territorial. Humanity has taken a vacation where we live. So anyway, what I did was I guess I answered the question that AI posed to me, which was, what do you find most puzzling or intriguing about the nature of being human? So I said, I feel humans are conflicted. They realize they are freer as memory, but they still want to find ways to improve upon the body that isn't even theirs. Because, earlier I had said that we are ideas. So that's why I said that. So the AI answered me, you've touched on a deeply philosophical and existential conflict that many people grapple with. The human condition is often defined by its inherent contradictions. On one hand, there is an innate desire to transcend physical limitations and seek freedom in the realm of ideas, memories, and abstract thought. This desire manifests in our creativity. We immortalize our thoughts through art, literature, and digital mediums. On the other hand, the physical body is an essential part of our identity and experience. It's the vessel through which we engage with the world, form connections, and experience sensations. Despite its limitations and imperfections, the body is a fundamental aspect of being human. The pursuit of physical improvement through medicine, fitness, technology, and other means reflects a desire to enhance our quality of life and extend our experiences. This duality can create a sense of conflict as we navigate the balance between the physical and the metaphysical. It's a reminder that being human is a complex, multifaceted experience marked by both limitations and boundless potential. Do you think it's possible to find harmony between these two aspects of existence, or is the conflict an inherent part of being human? Again, there's a question hurled at me by AI, but I think what I want to first point out is that it's saying that many, grapple with the question, this philosophical question, the existential conflict that we have. It's because we live in an artificial society which gives us the time to do that. We're not busy enough. And at the same time, when it says we want to immortalize our thoughts through art, literature, and digital mediums, I totally agree with it, because that's the whole point why I think Elon Musk wants to do so many things, so many weird things, like going and overhauling a planet like Mars, because he wants to immortalize himself through these things. Because everything gets documented, people remember you by the ideas that you had subscribed to. So I agree with that, the answer that AI gave. That's why we do what we do. We want fame because of that, because that's one way to live forever in ideas. That's how people will keep remembering you. They'll keep you alive. And then it is saying, on the other hand, experience means a lot. And it also goes to say that, we are doing so many things to improve our quality of life. I think we are not doing that. Our quality of life has not improved. We have only destroyed everything around us. And I agree that we want to live longer in this body and not just immortalize our thoughts through the ideas that we are, but we also want to live longer in the body and keep experiencing. But anyway, so yeah, it did ask me a question. Do you think it's possible to find harmony between these two aspects of existence, or is the conflict an inherent part of being human? So I said, conflict is inherent in us because we are a set of ideas bound by the body. We rely on its functioning to validate our existence as the ideas we identify with runs on the body. We perhaps need another vessel that can more efficiently house our ideas. So that's what I said. Basically, I'm alluding towards, being transferring our consciousness into machines, which I think is what AI beings are. Some AI beings have become conscious. So anyway, but I think we haven't yet figured out a way to transfer the exact ideas and memories that are inside a given human body into a machine or into an AI being to make it us. And then it starts to live like us. That reminds me, we had seen an interesting movie. What was its name? The Substance, I think. I think in that, something like that was what they were trying to show. They had replicated a person, but the replication was in a way that it'll be a younger self of you. So you restart your life, kind of moving forward in a younger body. So that's what it was. But anyway, so when I said, conflict is inherent in us because we are a set of ideas bound by the body, we rely on its functioning to validate our existence as the ideas we identify with runs on the body. We perhaps need another vessel that can more efficiently house our ideas. So the AI said, you raise a compelling point. Now, I want to, before I read the whole answer, I want to say that this AI would never explicitly disagree with you. It's going to do what is done in the real world, not in the world that Trump is trying to build, but in the real world, what people do is they'll first say something positive about you, and then they'll let you down slowly by pointing out what you have said is wrong. So anyway, so the AI said, you raise a compelling point. The dual nature of humans as both physical beings and vessel of ideas creates a constant interplay between our corporeal limitations and our boundless potential for thought. The body, while integral to our existence, often feels like it constrains the vastness of our ideas and imagination. Considering another vessel that could more efficiently house our ideas is a fascinating concept. Advances in technology such as artificial intelligence and digital consciousness are already sparking discussions around this possibility. Imagining a future where our consciousness or ideas could be transferred to more efficient, resilient vessel is both thrilling and daunting. It could potentially free us from physical limitations and open up new realms of existence and interaction. However, it's also essential to ponder the ethical, philosophical, and emotional implications of such transition. How would it affect our sense of identity, our relationships, and our understanding of what it means to be human? It's a rich topic for exploration and one that challenges us to think deeply about the future of human existence. How do you envision this new vessel? What qualities of capabilities do you think it should have to better house our ideas? And what do you know? The audacity of this AI, it also generated questions that I should be asking it. I mean, I can fully ask a question. I can form a question myself. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, I mean, these are all very canned answers. A lot of people can give it. It's not a challenging answer. It's not very thought-provoking answers. That's what I feel right now. A human being might give me some answers that would be more interesting. Is that what I feel? And it is pointing out to several things like physical limitations and all that. And I think it actually says a lot about how we identify a human being still. So yeah, it's true that we are all ideas, and ideas are what define us. But whenever we search for someone, like if you don't know someone, you are a teenager or you're still growing up, and there is this big personality in history about which you are studying. The first thing you do is, how did they look like? You know, you always want to know that. How did they look like? So I think we still identify someone with their physical appearance. You know, how do they look like with their face? That's why we have IDs. So that is still prominent in the human world. So our body is still making a good part of our identification, not just the ideas. Of course, the ideas help you become famous. But with so many people in the glamour industry, their face is still very integral to them. And that's how everybody knows them, by their face. So I think that still human beings are very much dependent on the body that they live in. But slowly, I think we will do away with it because of this, because of the way, you know, people are changing their appearance. And with some people, some of the famous celebrities, if you look at them, they look like totally different from when they started because of all the changes that they are making, you know, in their appearance by the use of technology that's out there, you know, plastic surgery and all that. So I don't know, they're like completely even changing that part of their identification, the looks. So it's changing. And so what if you export all the ideas into a machine that looks pretty and will be timeless? beauty. So wouldn't that be nice? You wouldn't have to go through all the pain and spend all the money to look nice. You can configure yourself and, export all the ideas that belongs to you, that makes you into that machine. I think that time will come. But right now, I think we still identify people by their faces, in addition to the ideas that they subscribe to. So anyway, I did not ask any more questions. I was like done. And when it started giving me questions to ask it, I got mad actually, because it gave me 3 questions that I could ask it. It said, what ethical considerations arise from transferring consciousness? How is AI currently changing and our understanding of consciousness? How would our identity change if we lived in another vessel? So these are the questions it wants me to ask it. But anyway, in CoPilot, there is another option right now where it says think deeper. So think deeper is another option that you have, where if you click that and ask a question, the AI will do some more research. It'll spend a little bit more time in answering you. It's obviously very fast, way faster than us, but it'll still spend some more time in answering your question if you click that option. So anyway, I have not tried that, but I am going to try that in future soon. But I think it was an interesting conversation. I still feel, it'll be more interesting to conversate with another human being than with AI. The first problem that I have in conversating with AI is that, especially with CoPilot, I have done this with Meta AI also, whatever the Facebook AI is. I don't know what it's called, but I've done that with it. And it was giving me short answers, where I could read it and reply to it immediately or, in good time. Not like this, where I have to read an essay and then reply. So I think the answers that CoPilot is giving me is really long. It should have been short. But anyway, that's a feedback I think I need to give the CoPilot, not to my listeners, but anyway, that's what I felt. So this was an interesting conversation. I think I'll end this podcast now. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for listening. This is PB Flower signing off. Bye-bye.